Sexual harassment or violence against women. Yes, in this century. Good evening, everyone. This we are the collaborative group number 9, Advanced English 1. This is a curious. We have this presentation, the subject this day, especially the November 25, yesterday, that we celebrate the International Day for Elimination of Violence against the women. So this is amazing. Why? Because about 100 years ago, the women fight for votes. About 15 years ago, the woman says equal pay. Now, please, time with you to join us. We like introduce for this debate Laura, who wanted to tell us about the sexual abuse and attack in Colombia and talk about the law. Javier, who tell us about the treatment get over attack by the victims, felons, and accomplished by institutions. Xiomara, who will propose needs and possible solution to this problem. And finally, George, who tell us about the conclusion about this subject. And so, please, Laura.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Alice. As you told us, I chose the number 2, sexual abuse and attack in Colombia, and talk about the law about the topic. Sexual abuse refers to any action that preserves or force someone to do something sexually that they don't want to do. When someone does not put up resistance to an unwanted sexual innuendo, that does not mean they have given their permission. Sometimes putting physical resistance can put the victim at greater risk of being physically harmed or sexually abused. Okay, according with the law 1236 of 2008 says, Chapter 1 about the rape, the articles are violent carnal access and violent sexual access. The chapter 2 talk about abusive sex acts. The articles are abusive carnal and sexual access with children under 14 years and carnal access, or abusive sexual act with inability to resist. The chapter 3 talk about common provision to the previous chapters. The article is circumstances of punitive aggravation. The chapter number 4 is of pimping. The articles are induction to prostitution, restriction to prostitution, punitive aggravation circumstances, stimulus to the prostitution of minors, pornography with minors, and use or facilitation of media to offer sexual service on minors. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So, please, Javier.
Thank you. My name is Javier Ramos. And as we are talking, sexual violence is any sexual act or attempt to obtain a sexual act by violence, coercion, or trickery. And there are different modalities that the attacker or assailant use. And the victim has different circumstances or symptoms. He change his mood, he get anger, anxiety, physical pain, sleep disturbs, be shame, and have depression. If you know, in Colombia, there are report 24,000 cases in the last year. Each 30 minutes happen this crime, especially with women, that is the 45%, with children, and it's very difficult to believe that it happened. We have to use different methods to try to avoid this crime. And the sexual assault have different emotional problems and try to report this crime. And sometimes they ask why they happen and if they could have prevented. But it's difficult because the most case the assailant is a family or a known person that use different modalities to have this opportunity to attack. And I think that the person needs counseling and psychotherapy, in other case, medication. And we have to support them, to give them unconditional support that they can cure their wounds. And I think that we need to talk everybody that the whole person have prevention of this screen. Thanks, and this is my point of view.
Okay, thank you very much, Javier. Please, Mara.
Okay, thank you, Alex. I am talking about 6 possible solutions to stop sexual abuse. I think that the first one is enhance the role of therapy and other treatments, especially to prevent children from becoming aggressors. And the second is it's essential to train members of Child Protection Service, the police and the judicial system on issues of child abuse of children, and again paying special attention to cases of disability. The third is society should recognize the potential impact of pornography in the face of a general tendency to minimize its negative effects. In Norway, for example, the police have already established a direct relationship between internet pornography and attacks on children or women. The fourth is reduce and take care the opportunities caregivers have to be alone with disabled and children. And the five is foster a change in mentality of society towards children with disabilities, promoting attitudes towards affection, respect, and acceptance. And the last one is enhance to right of children to be heard. We must understand that they mean, but especially we must understand what is hidden in what they don't say. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Sumara. And please, Jorge.
Thanks. First of all, I could say the problem of sexual harassment to the woman is a complex problem. It has a lot of factors. At least there is one social factor, there are cultural factors, there are economical factors even, and of course there is last one, and this is the I think is very important. Is the legal one, because at least fortunately in our country this behavior is a crime, so this is easy to categorize as a bad behavior. But in other countries this doesn't happen. but and this is in the main is a step to go against the sexual harassment is considered that behavior as completely complete have a complete intolerance to this behavior because it is have a harm. It makes a harms not only women but also children, and this is very important to have this statement. The other thing is about the legal one is because this is important to deal with this problem with proper institutions. I mean, it's important to manifestate or discomfort for sexual that sexual aggression in our social media, but it's still need have it is still needed a proper institutions to deal with the problem, and of course have the trust in those institutions, make these institutions efficient, so they can deal with the problem in a most efficient way. And I say this is the most effective way, not only social, because as I said, it's important to manifestate or disconform, but we know a police, we know psychologists, with all this kind of state apparatus to make all these things work together. We are dealing with a problem who make fall over our hands. It's very complex. This is what this is more. This is the only thing I could say about the problem. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Javier. And I would like to say thank you to all for this meeting, and I hope you join us in a future. Who's speaking to us? Alexander Zavala, and happy good night for everyone.